Hey guys, it's Libby. How are you? I am well. Today I'm on a new camera, so the viewfinder situation looks very different. I'm not sure if it'll look different at all in the final product, but I'm bringing you my TBR for Jane Austen July, which is a readathon focused on works by and about and relevant to Jane Austen. That is for the full month of July. It is hosted by Katie from Books and Things, Claudia from Spinster's Library, and Melissa from from Bladely Bookish. There are several challenges for this readathon, and I have like a baseline goal and then a stretch goal for most of them. So the first challenge is to read one of her 6 main novels, one of Jane's 6 main novels. So I have 2 that I definitely want to get to for this readathon. They are Persuasion and Pride and Prejudice, and I have here my 2-volume Pride and Prejudice because this is the ancestral Austen edition, which is from like the 30s, and the font is pretty big. If I finish those 2, I will then just sort of keep going in order of my preference. So Persuasion is my favorite Austen novel, then Pride and Prejudice. If I finish both of those, I will then move on to Northanger Abbey, then Sense and Sensibility, then Emma, and then, probably not Mansfield Park. Challenge 2 is to read something by Jane Austen that is not one of her main 6 novels. So my baseline is this copy of Leslie Castle, which is some of Austen's juvenilia. So it's Leslie Castle, and then History of England by a Partial Prejudice and Ignorant Historian, and then Catherine or the Bower. I'm familiar a little bit with the middle one. Don't really know anything about the first or last. And stretch goal for this challenge is Lady Susan. Challenge number 3 is to read a nonfiction work about Jane Austen or her time. So I am definitely going for What Matters in Jane Austen by John Mullen. I first heard about this from Katie, who read it I think a couple Jane Austen Julys ago. And I also saw John Mullen give a lecture at the Jane Austen Festival Bath in 2019. And I'm going to see him again in 2021, this coming September. So if you were at the Jane Austen Festival this year, let me know and I will come say hi. Challenge 4 is to read a retelling of a Jane Austen book. This one I'm not going to do because I'm just really not interested in the retelling of a novel or play sort of genre. I would much rather you write, your own version of Persuasion and then not tell anyone that it is based on Persuasion, because if you do, I'm going to be comparing it to the original. Challenge 5 is to read a book by a contemporary of Jane Austen. Okay, I have 2 things for this. First one is, it is about time that I read Mysteries of Udolpho, which is mentioned quite a lot in Northanger Abbey. This is by Anne Radcliffe, one of the great Gothic writers, or great is, I don't know, we'll find out if great is the right word. One of the Gothic novelists of the late 18th and very early 19th century. And my stretch goal for this is to also read Marriage by Susan Edmondson Ferrier. I've read quite a lot of sort of like marriage game is what I call them, novels from the late 18th century. So those are vaguely the kind of novels Jane Austen was writing, but before Austen. Marriage came out after most of Austen's works were published, so I'm kind of interested to see how she changed the field, because most of the pre-Austen stuff is not good. And then those are all the reading challenges. There are some watching challenges, which are to watch a direct adaptation of Austen and then to watch a modern adaptation or retelling of Austen on film. Couple things. One, I have kind of been feeling like it's time for the old spouse to watch 1995's Pride and Prejudice. So we'll see if I can poke him into doing that. And then also, Emma 2020 came out in the Netherlands after the pandemic hit. So in the Netherlands we get movies delayed normally by quite a few months. So I have never seen 2020 Emma, and I would like to fix that. So I might do a Emma Clueless double header at some point to get the direct and the modern film adaptations in. And then I have some further plans which are not a part of any of the challenges, but just something I'm doing for myself. So a couple, like 1 or 2 Victobers ago, Claudia did a vlog of like living with Victorian levels of technology is sort of how she framed it. So it was basically no TV, no phone, no computer for 24 hours to focus on that reading. And I was thinking that this sounded like a fun idea. You know, I've got a lot of books I want to get through, might as well like focus and also get a little bit of the Regency era experience. And then I also thought, I'm a historical costumer, and I've got like all these clothes that I've made, these early 19th century clothes that I've made that I haven't had any opportunity to wear for the past year and a half. So why don't I just like dress up while I'm doing my tech-free day? And then I was like, I also am really interested in like historical food, historical cooking. So maybe I'll like also do like Regency meals. And then I was like, well, okay, I'm clearly just doing a whole day. I'm just doing a full day of Regency living, as close as I can get, at least in my modern apartments. So in addition to all the reading stuff, I will also be making a video about my day living like a Jane Austen character, which is actually not going to be on this channel. It is going to be on my costuming channel, which I'm starting to upload things to again. So if you want to check out that video, you can go subscribe to my other channel, or, you know, I will let you know and link to it. I don't want you to feel like I'm manipulating you into subscribing to my other channel, although it would, of course, be great. So those are my Jane Austen July plans, and wish me luck on July 2nd, which will be my Regency Day, but also I will not, also you can't get in contact with me because I won't be using the internet.